Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our March 3rd Board of Education meeting. We are very excited to have so many people here with us tonight. We will begin with an invocation.
Father God, we come to you tonight in the mighty name of Jesus, the name that is above every name. And Father, we want to thank you for the chance to get to have this meeting tonight. We want to thank you for this board that has convened and that diligently seeks to do what's best for our county and our schools, our teachers, our staff, our students, and the families. Father, thank you for the ROTC members that present our nation's colors that we will pledge our allegiance to here in a minute. Father, for all the schools that will be recognized tonight, all the students that have worked so hard to get recognition and to be able to honor their school in what they do, we want to thank you. Bless us tonight and keep us in your will. And we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Weaver. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. We're going to be led tonight by Parkwood ROTC. Okay, everyone please be seated. Okay, board members, we will have approval of the agenda.
I have a couple changes to the agenda. I'd like to add under 1D, Senator Johnson regarding a resolution supporting the state of North Carolina's proposed fiscal year 2019-2021 biennium budget, and that would be an action item. Under 5B, I would like to strike if needed after. And number 9, there are no closed session decisions, so that can be stricken.
Okay, anything else, board?
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, and we are excited to have Senator Todd Johnson here with us tonight. And we will call him forward to speak to us on the state budget.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Board. Having served on the county commission, I know that this is a very thankless job. But having leaders like yourself that take the time and dedication to do this thankless job, but in the end, you do it for the right reason. So I appreciate all the efforts and work that you do. I did speak last night to the Board of County Commissioners concerning our state budget. And I'd like to express appreciation to Vice Chair Hintel and Chairman Merrill for allowing us to get this resolution on the agenda tonight. So I was here to speak to the resolution supporting the 2019-2021 biennium budget at the state level. Some of the comments I made last night will be a repeat performance, but at the same time, it's important enough to say again. So if you've heard what we said last night, please bear with me. Many times with budgets, we see a lot of figures, we see a lot of line items, and a lot of paper. We shuffle paper, we see things, we see programs, but in the end, sometimes it's easy to forget that every line item represents a person, represents a family, represents a program that many of our citizens that we're charged to serve, that a program that they need. And this budget was not unlike many of the other ones that we've had. The Union County portion of this state budget is what I wanted to bring to your attention tonight. As I mentioned, I have served as a county commissioner back in early 2010, and we were facing school funding for capital improvements. And from what I understand, you're facing some capital improvement needs again today. Well, this state budget appropriated approximately $20 million in capital projects for Union County. That's not chump change. That's real money that could come and make an impact in the students' lives. And like many of you, or pretty much all of you, at the end of the day, the student is what we care about. And that's what's most important. Also, school safety and school security measures to help improve the safety. You know, today's not like when many of us were in school. We have to be aware of some other things that are coming from the outside. We have to be aware that safety concerns today, we can't address these the same way we did 20 years ago. And I'll tell you in Raleigh, if you can take a moment to pat yourself on the back, people look to Union County as the leader in school safety. They look to us in Union County to see how can they replicate what we do here. So I applaud the superintendent and this board for the efforts that you've taken. It's make no mistake about it, I'm affected too. I have a student in Union County Public High School and middle school. So the decisions you make affect us also. I'll get back to the third item that's on the resolution. Nurses, counselors, psychologists, social workers. Again, school today is not like it was 20 years ago. Students are faced with many different challenges today. They have basically have all the information they need right here. Many times you see folks with their face buried in it. So they have access to information that we didn't have access to at these ages. So it's important that we have the folks that can help them deal with this inflow of information, how to discern it, how to delineate between fact and fiction. And what it's caused is it's caused issues with a lot of our kids. And so having this instructional support, these nurses, counselors, psychologists, social workers is very important. In addition, there's $50,000 going to the foundation. The thing I like about that piece of the equation is that goes directly to the classroom, to our teachers, to the folks that are making a difference in what we like to call boots on the ground. So it's important that we continue to work for our foundation and help to make sure that they can provide these many scholarships and different things that can help improve the classroom situation. Last but not least, raises for teachers and educators, but not just teachers in the classroom, also instructional support. I forget the term that they use, but there's a non-certified or there's another term that they like to use. That's all the way down the line. Folks that make an impact. I remember back when I was in elementary school, many times if I fell or got sick, it might have been the janitor or it might have been someone else that was there to help me. So they need to be respected and honored too. So this budget did just that. I'm going to make a statement that may upset some people, and that'll be okay. It won't be the first time. Teachers are not leverage. They should never be used as leverage, should never be seen as leverage. They should be treated as professionals and respected. And I feel like this budget that we put forward at least starts the process of doing that. So with this, my request tonight is that you would review the resolution and consider supporting this resolution so that we can send a message to Raleigh and let them know that the state budget directly impacts the safety, the security, and the prosperity of our kids in our school system. So I appreciate it, and if anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to entertain them.
I don't have any questions, but I will piggyback on one of your comments. Early last spring or last summer, Representative Dean Arp reached out to us, and he said the budget that we're proposing in Raleigh would give approximately $20 million to Union County Public Schools for capital improvements, repairs, anything that we needed in our growing school district, anything that we needed, classroom additions right down to painting, which you would be amazed at how much it costs to paint a school, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so Representative Arp, brought this to us 6 months ago. And I want everyone to know that we met with our director of facilities, who you met walking in the door, Dave Burnett. Where are you, Dave? Over there. Hey, Dave. And then Mark Strickland and Kathy and I, and we identified very early on when you were in Raleigh working on this state budget, we have $20 million worth of capital projects that we've identified in our 53 schools that need to be done. And when people talk about kicking the can down the road, we truly are kicking the can down the road on some repairs and renovations in our aging schools. Some of our aging, older clusters like Monroe, Parkwood, Piedmont, Sun Valley's getting a new bond, so they're doing really good. But I just want you to understand that we have needs, and that's why this is so important. So I just want to share with you, we identified what we could use that money for if this budget were to pass.
And I would be remiss if I didn't, and thank you for reminding me, Representative Arp, Representative Brody, as well as Representative Horn did work diligently on every single one of these items. Nothing in Raleigh gets done just in one chamber. So I have the privilege of serving Union County in the Senate chamber, and then those three individuals serve in the House, and they do represent us well. But obviously, they work very diligently on this. And I forgot to mention kind of an update of where we are on the budget. Currently, it sits in the Senate, and we are one vote shy of getting this budget. Important to note, as far as pay increases, if we are able to override this budget in April the 28th, when we go back in session in Raleigh, if we're able to override this budget, these pay increases will be backdated to July 1st of 2019. Now, we need the money now, and we need our educators to have their money, and we need the capital money now. But if we can do this in the short session, it will be backdated to July 1st.
I would like to add a comment and thank you for your efforts on behalf of our county. And I think it is a serious disservice to the educators as well as non-licensed employees, which I fear we have could do irreparable damage to the field of education in enticing more of our young people to go into the field of education when they feel like they're going to have a chance to be not only not competitive from a compensation standpoint, but also could be subject to political football on occasion. This is, as I'm sure you will agree, above politics, and we need to take care of these fine people, and they need to be paid according to the contributions that they make. And I applaud all your efforts to try and pry loose that one extra vote you need to override the governor's veto and put a budget in place.
And Madam Chair, if I could just say one thing to Mr. Sides, you brought up a good point as far as wanting folks to go into this business and go into this profession. Union County Public Schools produces complete rock stars, and we want them to be able to come back, and not only to come back, to stay in North Carolina, and more specifically, stay in Union County. And a lot of folks want to do that, but at the same time, we have to provide the compensation and be competitive in that nature.
So Senator Johnson, one of the questions I wanted to confirm tonight, I know that you and Representative Arp and Craig Horn and Mark Brody. I know everyone has been working really hard, and that there have even been mini budgets put forward to get our teachers raises and bonuses. There has been mini budgets for a 3.9% increase, a 4.4% increase, a 4.9% increase, and a $1,000 bonus, all of which was vetoed. When you go back on April 28th, is all of that going to start over from scratch, or do you know what direction or what percentage? Will it be with a bonus, or can you speak to that?
I think if I told you anything in concrete, it would still be speculation. But I will say that the original, you brought up the mini budgets. Many of the items that were in the original budget have been funded in a mini budget format. So basically what we did is we took the governor's budget as well as the budget that was passed by the General Assembly, which was passed with bipartisan supermajority in both chambers. And we picked out the pieces where there was no conflict.
Overlap.
And so we pulled those out and said, there's no reason to hold up this over something else. So we were able to pass these mini budgets. I guess the part that was disheartening to me was the mini budget that was for teacher raises.
Mm-hmm.
We had a 3.9% raise in a mini budget that was completely separate from the budget. So they could have passed this 3.9.
Just moved on.
Give them the money, and then come back and negotiate it for more. And I think at that point in time is when we realized it's really not, there's higher level politics that none of us really understand that's coming into play. But 3.9, 4.4, and then also a 4.9 with a $1,000 bonus. And here's the important piece. This isn't 5-year teachers, 15-year teachers, 25-year teachers. This is across the board.
Okay.
And so it's very important. And with these increases come the funding for retirement. And a lot of times that gets lost in the mix. But North Carolina State Retirement Program is the 22nd largest pot of money in the world, not in the United States, but in the world. And we have one of the most well-funded retirement systems in the country. And so it's important that, yes, if we're going to do these raises, we also need to make sure we're funding the retirement for these systems also, so that the promise can be kept that we made to our state employees. So,
Well, I personally would like to thank you, first off, for being here tonight and visiting with us and explaining all of this going on in Raleigh. And we wish you luck when you go back in April.
well, I am optimistic about it. I think
Okay.
that at this stage in the game, which unfortunately politics a lot of times becomes a game, and I think, again, not to beat a dead horse, but we do miss sometimes that there are people behind the numbers and the line items. There's communities that depend on these different projects. And so in the end, I think we're going to get it across the finish line, but again, I'd be speculating.
And I know you're a huge proponent of community colleges and and the partnerships we have with dual enrollment for our teenagers. And we have a significant number of Union County Public School students who are dual enrolled and earning college credit through South Piedmont Community College. So although our resolution tonight only addresses the money that we would need here in Union County Public Schools, I know that there's other line items in the state budget that would help all of our community colleges.
And thank you for the dual enrollment program. I am a big proponent of community colleges. I think it's hands down one of the best bangs for your buck that you can get in education. And the partnership that UCPS has with SPCC is, again, we are a beacon in the state, and people look to Union County Public Schools to try to replicate what you guys have been able to do. And so thank you for that. We're hoping that with this budget, again, we'll be able to address some of the community college issues like aseptic training, which is a huge deal for jobs and careers here in the county.
So we're going to let you slide tonight, but we'll get back to you on school calendar to see if we can line that up.
Thanks
with
for giving me a pass on that one tonight.
I'll give you a pass tonight.
Thank you.
I too want to thank you for coming in front of us and trying to get a budget passed that would give us the critical resources that we need at Union County Public Schools, and our representatives are Brody and Horn. So I appreciate that. So I make a motion that we approve the resolution supporting the state of North Carolina's proposed fiscal year 2019 through 2021 biennium budget.
Second.
Okay. And before we call the vote, we'd like to get Board Member Todd Price on the line, who just had surgery, and he wanted to participate with us tonight and be a part of this. Oh. I think so. Is it not working? Okay. I believe he has been, yeah. Because he was with us in closed also.
Madam Chair, while we're waiting on Mr. Price, I will tell you that.
Can you turn
I'm
the
on.
volume down, Todd?
I'm on. Thank you.
And Mr. Price, thank you for joining us. If you could mute your phone or turn off the TV. Are you with us?
I am. Thank you.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Senator Todd Johnson has come to us about the state budget, and I know that you've been following. Mrs. Heintel made the motion, and who made the second? Mr. Sides, and we are ready to vote unless you have any questions.
I have no questions.
Okay, board members, all those in favor of approving tonight's resolution, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, passes 9-0.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
everyone, for everything you do, and I'll come back anytime you invite me. So
Okay,
thank you so much.
and we'll talk about school calendar.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, board members, if you would please join me at the front, we will have our John H. Crowder Service Award and our other recognitions for tonight. Good evening. Oh, no one said anything. All right. The late John H. Crowder spent more than 30 years serving the children of Union County. As a living tribute to him and his legacy, the Union County Board of Education awards the John H. Crowder Service Award every month to an outstanding high school student who is making a difference in their school and community. Students who receive this award are not only academically successful, but also have an established history of community service. Tonight, we award the John H. Crowder Service Award to a very, very special student from Parkwood High. Karina Sutton, will you please come forward? Is it Karina? Right. You can come on this side. Your best smile. All right. Karina is an outstanding student who strives to grow academically and to make a difference in her school, community, and beyond. At her school, Karina has taken 18 AP and CCP courses and is currently ranked in her class with a weighted GPA of 4.57. Yeah, 4.57. In addition to leading an effort to collecting hygiene products, books, blankets, toys, stuffed animals, and more for a local orphanage. Karina also organized a group of students to provide math tutoring to peers who are enrolled in credit recovering and summer school. In her community, Karina started a prayer shawl ministry at her church and helped to organize a chili cook-off and a cake bake-off to raise money for a local elementary school. Cake? Did you bring some tonight? No. All right. She also collects supplies for the food and clothing pantry at her church, where she volunteers several times a month. Karina epitomizes leadership, both at school and within her community. And the Board of Education is very proud to recognize her as the March recipient of the John H. Crowder Service Award.
The UCPS Influencers Employee Recognition Program celebrates the passion, dedication, and exemplary work ethic of UCPS employees who go the extra mile every day. Each month, our staff members, students, families, and community members nominate a UCPS employee for this award to recognize the positive influence they have in the lives of others. Last month, more than 110 nominations were submitted for the UCPS Influencers Award. Tonight, I'm honored to present our UCPS Influencers for March 2020. Weddington High Band Director Jill Brooks and Marvin Ridge Middle Lead Custodian Scotty Little. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge that Mr. Little actually received 2 UCPS Influencer nominations last month from a parent, Nicole Moore, as well as a Marvin Ridge Middle School teacher, Stephanie Herring. I will now invite the nominators to come to the podium to read their submissions and recognize our honorees' accomplishments. Yes, sir.
Gotta have my old people glasses here. Good evening. My name is Mikhail Rogers. I am in my 25th year of teaching middle school band in the Union County Public School System, and I'm currently the band director at Weddington Middle School. I'd like to ask Miss Jill Brooks to come forward. Jill Brooks came to the Weddington Band program in 2012 at a time when I had just turned 40 and was questioning whether or not to continue my teaching career or leave the profession due to the potential burnout which all dedicated educators will face. Jill was 26 years old at the time, and her youthful energy was contagious. She took command of an already highly respected band program at Weddington and made it her own. Witnessing firsthand Jill's focus, enthusiasm, and drive helped remind me why I became an educator in the first place, and now I can't imagine being at Weddington without her. Our working relationship has always been one of mutual emotional support. Early on, Jill looked to me for experience and self-confidence. As the years have gone by, however, I find that I rely on her just as much for my own self-confidence and emotional well-being. Jill is an outstanding educator who has built a successful career at Weddington and has an amazing rapport with her students. However, for me, Jill is uniquely special because she helped me find my love for the profession once again. Jill, you mean the world to me, and I love you for the joy you have brought into my life.
Good evening. I'm Nicole Moore, and I'm a parent at UCPS. Mr. Little, will you come join me? Scotty Little goes out of his way and is extra helpful and friendly. He always greets everyone with a warm smile and positivity. In the past, Scotty has helped me set up many, many times for spirit wear and has been happily available to help me afterwards to tear it all down. This is the first year that I've not been at Marvin Ridge Middle School, and I truly miss his wonderful personality. However, I do get to see him every day directing traffic for the high school and the middle school in the afternoons. You can't help but feel cheerful when you see him happily and again smiling, keeping us all safe as we enter and exit the schools. The fact that he received not one but two UCPS Influencer nominations speaks to the positive impact that he makes on students, his colleagues, and Marvin Ridge families every single day. Thank you, Scotty, for all that you do for each of us. You are definitely an asset to Marvin Ridge Middle School, and they are truly blessed to have you.
Congratulations. I will now read the UCPS Influence Proclamation from the Board of Education and Dr. Houlihan. Whereas the Union County Board of Education values the hard work of each employee within the district, whereas performance is an essential part of district operations, whereas Jill Brooks and Scotty Little exemplify the performance, dedication, and teamwork essential to the success of the district and its students, now, therefore, we, the Board of Education for Union County Public Schools, and Dr. Andrew G. Houlihan, Superintendent, hereby proclaim Jill Brooks and Scotty Little as the UCPS Influencers for the month of March 2020. Congratulations, Ms. Brooks and Mr. Little, on this outstanding honor, and thank you for all that you do to be a positive influence on others each and every day. Congratulations.
Alexia, you stay. Okay.
Good evening. Tonight, I am honored to recognize Sandy Ridge Elementary student Alexia Vega for winning the 2020 UCPS Spelling Bee. For Alexia, this marks back-to-back championships in the past 2 years that she has been eligible to compete, and she has been eligible to compete at the district level. Competing against 39 students in 3rd through 8th grade throughout the district, Alexia, who is a 4th grader, by the way, won the spelling bee in the 16th round by correctly spelling the word ganglion. Congratulations, Alexia, and good luck moving forward. All right, thank you.
Tonight, I'm pleased to present our outstanding student athletes who have recently won winter team and individual state championships. And we have a bunch of recognitions this evening. So we'll start off our recognitions tonight with Sun Valley High. Coach Jay Pierre, would you please come forward and recognize your champion?
Good evening. Tonight, I'm pleased to introduce to you Sun Valley High freshman Zachary Moore, who recently won the 3A state championship for the wheelchair 55-meter dash. In his first official race, Zachary broke the existing state record and set the current state record of 16.47 seconds with his first place victory. So just a little bit about Zachary. He I was driving the bus for the football team, and we were at Concord High School, and I said, "Hey Zach, I want you to go to the 100-meter mark," and I said, I'll start after I blow the whistle. I want you to just go all the way down." And he said, he's kind of confused. He said, "Okay." And I said, "Don't worry. All I want you to do, as soon as I say go, I blow the whistle, then I have you go the whole entire 100 meters." And I had him go. I clocked him at the 55-meter mark. And then he continued all the way to the 100-meter mark, and I clocked him again. After I clocked him, I went, pulled out my phone, and then I look up at the previous state times, and I was like, whoa. I said, "Zachary, I think he could really do something." And then ever since then, I said, "Would you like to do track?" He was like, I don't know. I've never done it before. How will I be able to do everything?" And he ended up doing it, and he came to 6 a.m. liftings 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And then he transitioned later on during the season to Tuesday, Thursdays at 6 a.m. And it was just amazing to see Zach. One thing that he did, he was always one of my hardest workers. He never came in. He always came in with a smile, never upset. Even on the days that I see that he wanted to give up, I'd say, what's wrong? Well, I could see it in his face. I'd say, "Zach, what's going on?" He was like, "I'm just a little sore, but I can push through." I'm like, "It's okay. You can be honest from time to time." And I said, just take it easy. And then finally, the time goes, we're getting ready for states. And then Zach, for the first time, he's like, "Coach, I'm nervous." I said, "It's okay. You'll be fine." And he truly ended up trusting the process. And because the week before we were at the Charlotte City Championships, he went the slowest he's ever went. And he was so upset. He went 21 seconds in the 55-meter dash, wheelchair dash, and he was just down. And I said, "Zach, don't worry." I said, "You'll be fine. Next week is states." He's like, "But coach, I did bad." I said, "Don't worry. The time is coming. Time is coming." And then Friday, where we get to the state championships, and he's competing up against another competitor, and he just goes. And the amount of excitement that came across his face when not only did he set a personal best, he also set this 3A state record as well. And he didn't even know what he just accomplished. But it was just the fact of he truly accomplished something so big that hadn't been done, and breaking it as a freshman, which was something that was just amazing for Zach. So I just want to say congratulations, Zach. All right.
Hello, I'm Coach Rhodes, and I am the head swim coach at Parkwood High School. And I would like to introduce Kaylee Hamlin, who won for the third year in a row the women's 100-yard breaststroke at state champions. So, congratulations.
Hello, I'm Chris Linthcomb. I'm the head wrestling coach at Parkwood High School. I'm here to honor my 3 state champs that we had this year. We have 2 female state champs for wrestling. We have 1 male. Last year, we talked about it being the first year there was a women's state tournament. From last year to this year, the growth of women's wrestling in the state has grown. The tournament almost doubled in size. Our girls this year were blessed to be able to wrestle 4 different women's only tournaments, which, again, is something that wasn't there in place a year ago. So we're really excited. We're really excited about the growth in our school. As of right now in Union County, I will say we're the only team with girls on our team. So I'm really hoping that it catches fire for the rest of the county. But our first female state champ finished in 17-3 this season at 126 pounds, Aurora Eford. Finished in 17-5 this season, also freshman, Savannah Bramhall at 152 pounds. And then this year, our men's team was really successful as well. We had 3 state placers. We had a kid finish 3rd, a kid finish 4th. We had a state champ, and our team finished 7th overall, so we felt really good about our men's side as well. Amir Joseph is our first ever male state champ. He's our first ever male state finalist in school history, so we're really proud of him. So at 195 pounds, finishing 51-6 on the season, Amir Joseph.
Hi, I'm Melissa King Pierce. I'm the swim and dive coach for Marvin Ridge High School. And tonight I want to introduce Boyd Pelkey, who won 2 state titles this year in the 50 free and the 100 fly. He's a 3-time All-American, a Chapel Hill commit, and he helped Marvin Ridge win 3 team state titles and 2nd place this year at the state meet.
She told us to. I'm Rick Spencer. I'm the head coach for Weddington's indoor track team, and our boys won the state 3A title this year. This is the 3rd year in a row and the 4th year out of 5 that we've won the indoor state meet. And we've brought 24 guys with us. I think only about 11 are here today. Those are Jake Toomey, Joseph Lowther, Michael Paxton, Grayson Lucas, Matthew McKelvey, Chris Durham, Cameron Wright, Wesley Larson, Nick Callis, Connor Bloomsack, and Colin Hiddendrixma.
Is this what I do? Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Nina McPherson. I'm the head swim and dive coach for Cuthbertson High School. And tonight I'm pleased to present the following 4 students who won state championships in swimming. These girls, as I call your name, please come forward. Allison Thome, Jordan Browning, Avery Murray, and Leah Sandock. They won the women's 200 medley relay with a new state record and an All-American consideration time. And then Allison, who's at the beginning, she can come. I don't know if she needs to come back through or not. She also won the women's 200 IM at states and also had an All-American consideration time.
I was moving this thing. All right, I'm Coach Allen. I'm the head track and field coach at Cuthbertson High School. I'd like to recognize our students who recently won state championships in track and field, beginning with boys indoor track. Students, as I call your name, please come forward. Winning the 300, 4x2, and 4x4, Aiden McNally. Winning the 4x2 and 4x4, Zachary Ross. Winning the 4x2 and 4x4, Jacob Kerner. Winning the 4x2, Ari Richards. And winning the 4x4, Ryan Kobziak. Additionally, please join me in congratulating our girls indoor track team who won the 3A state championship for the 4th year in a row. Athletes, please come forward as I call your name. Ava Studney, state champion in the pole vault. Addie Benz, state champion in the 4x2 and 4x4. Jade McLean, state champion in the 4x2. Presley Wharf, state champion in the 4x4. Sarah DeCaria in high jump, and Caroline Smith placing 5th in the high jump. Also, our throws coach, Jeremy East.
Dr. Houlihan, board, that concludes our recognitions for this evening.
Oh, yeah. She goes to church with us. Grandpa does, yeah. She's in our church. Yeah. Check it out.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, board, that brings us to public comments. 30 minutes has been allotted for public comments. Community members wishing to speak during public comments should state their name, address, phone number prior to making any other comments. The board will not hear in open session complaints about the performance of school personnel, personnel issues, or confidential student matters. Individuals may address the board for 3 minutes. Any person who is appointed representative for a group may address the board for 5 minutes. Should a community member wish to seek information or share items that may not be shared during public comments, our staff are available to address your concerns or provide information. Dr. Brad Breedlove, Chief Academic Officer, Jared McCraw, Assistant Superintendent of Student Services, are here to assist. We had one person signed up, but she may have left. Okay, so we do not have anyone. Okay, she left. Pass that down. Okay, that brings us to the approval of open session meeting minutes for February 4th, 2020.
I move that we approve the open session meeting minutes from February 4th.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And that brings us to the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. And that brings us to the superintendent's report. Dr. Houlihan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, everyone. I wanted to start off this evening with a brief update on a subject that is taking the nation by storm, which is the coronavirus. We have received a significant amount of communication from our public, and I wanted to make sure that we are very public and transparent about what we're doing. As you know, there are many unknown factors currently with this virus, but we are exploring a significant number of resources to keep us informed. Today, in fact, members of our senior team met with physicians and executives from Atrium Health, leadership from the Union County government, and health department to discuss local plans, protocols, and procedures should the coronavirus impact our region or area. In addition, our staff will continue to meet to discuss the latest information from the Center for Disease Control and other health agencies. We are also sending representatives to Greensboro tomorrow to work with the 12 largest districts to develop a statewide resource kit for school systems to use. As of today, and this might have changed literally within the last hour, I believe there is at least one reported case in North Carolina. We understand the concerns that our parents, our teachers, and our staff have. As more information is made available, we will certainly work to communicate that to you all. I want to thank the local Union County Health Department for their partnership in this effort and our health agencies. And I would like the public to know we are taking this very seriously. There are a lot of unknown factors and a lot of hypothetical situations, and it will be an evolving case. And I ask you all to please be patient with us and know that the safety of our students and staff will continue to be the highest priority in our school system. Secondly, one of a really cool thing that's happening this month, we want to invite all of our parents, staff, and others to come to our Bullying Prevention 101 sessions this month. We're holding 5 sessions throughout 5 different high schools and they all have the same content to define bullying and to roll out our new UCPS plan for bullying prevention. The dates and times are located on our website and are on social media, and we look forward to seeing you out in our high schools. Along the same subject, it is Say Something Week across the nation. We continue to keep school safety, social emotional learning at the forefront of what we do every day. As a reminder, Union County Public Schools launched the Say Something system in December. If you have not downloaded the app, we would encourage you to do so. I really want to thank our students who are using the system. We have definite evidence that our students who have been trained in grades 6 through 12 are definitely using the system to communicate concerns about peers or themselves. And remember, if you see something, say something. And thank you to our support team, our teachers and principals for all the work that they do. And finally, we are approaching a very fun part of time, in my opinion, which is the beginning of the end of basketball season. Currently this evening, we have 3 Union County high schools in playoff contention. I believe Forest Hills High, Weddington High boys are all playing this evening. Cuthbertson High School girls are also playing. They're in the Elite 8. And that ties right in with our Books and Brackets contest. And we are already down to the Sweet 16 at the end of this week. We will announce on Facebook Live our Sweet 16 schools this Friday at 1 o'clock. So please tune in and join us to cheer on your school. Thank you, board members. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Houlihan. We will now have Mr. Tahira Stalbert do a strategic plan update for Theme D, Initiative 2A.
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good evening.
I am providing an update on our Engaged Parents and Community Strategic Plan theme. This one is specifically focused on designing and implementing a plan to improve and develop family organizations for our schools with low parent engagement. This is something that we've started work on in the fall, and we continue to work on strategies that will help us to improve in this area. What our previous state was, many schools needing assistance with parent engagement. We have several schools that do not have PTOs and PTAs, and we're working to make sure that we enhance that, look for opportunities for parents to become engaged and work more closely with their schools. Also in UCPS, there are various definitions of parent engagement and what that looks like from school to school, and also limited opportunities for parents to connect and partner with schools. Another previous state is just limited interaction across the county, and that's something that we working to enhance and do a better job of. This fall, we had an event that we called all of the parent leaders together to look at how we could start more parent organizations and look at the difference between PTO and PTA. And what we found is that there was just little interest in some of our schools starting a PTO or PTA. And so we're looking at what other opportunities are there for engagement besides those just actual organizations. Our current state and where we are right now as far as working on strategies to improve it, back in January of a year ago now, we started a Superintendent's Parent Advisory Council, and that consists of one parent that represents each cluster. We meet quarterly to discuss ideas for engagement, how to bring parents together from across the county. Dr. Houlihan gives updates on district initiatives, and we know that those parents are leaders in their community. They bring information back to share. Also, we distributed a parent engagement survey. I mentioned before, we held the parent leaders meeting in November. And then looking at ways that we could be different and reach parents where they are, launching the Superintendent's Facebook Live series. And we've reached thousands of parents through that tool, whereas we may not get thousands to come out for a meeting in the evening, but we shared valuable information about safety and security, social and emotional plans that the district is working on. And our last one was about academics, and we did that one in January. And so this is another way that we talk about engagement, where it may not be face-to-face, but parents are able to access information and we're able to reach them in a digital format. Our desired state, and this is where we're working towards right now, is to develop additional school-to-school partnerships to enhance engagement activities across the county. Get a clear definition of what parent engagement is in Union County Public Schools, and to make sure that we're all on the same page as it relates to what we can offer parents and what the standard is across the county. And it is also the goal to organize a statewide parent council. And just knowing that how this works in other districts, that's your advocacy group. That's your group that where parents can actually come together as one council and be able to access each other on a basis that's more often. And then utilize the Superintendent's Parent Advisory Council to develop more strategies. So at this time, we also did another survey recently, just an updated one with our principals around engagement, around partnerships and school partnerships. So now we have real data that will let us know which schools have partnerships, and we're working to expand that to make sure that our schools are actually helping each other to make Team UCPS better. Any questions?
I don't know if this is questions, but that Facebook Lives are amazing. So I think that a lot of parents really like those. So that's a great thing. I think we've made some inroads with East Elementary for the first time has a PTO.
Yes.
Thank you, Teresa, and everybody else who was involved in that. That's amazing because they are getting something going at that school. Their Black History
program
was full last year, fuller than full. So they're making some inroads as this. I would love to see more, and I know it's on your the future thing, desired state, more school-to-school partnerships. And I know that some schools speak to school-to-school partnerships within their cluster, but I would like to see it go outside of the cluster. And I think there's some people behind the scenes trying to get some of those things going again, because it kind of ebbs and flows, but it would be nice to see that happen again.
And one thing we are planning to do is share the data with principals. We're not sure that all principals are aware of the needs at other schools. And so
I agree
when
with
they
that.
have that data, they're able to say, oh, we have a club that can help with that, or we have parents who could assist with volunteer efforts or help with fundraising. And so that's where we want to go.
Well, and we also have a lot of high schoolers who are looking for volunteer hours. And if they could do that in schools within our district, that would be an amazing thing as well. So I agree with you. I think that the needs can be small and they can be big. Even if you're doing some staff appreciation or helping out at a dance or helping out with a program that's going on at the school, they're always going to need help. So it would be nice to keep going and trying to get the schools paired up a little bit more with the principals involved and things like that. That would be a really great thing. But thank you.
We actually have this as a topic on our principals meeting this week to kind of let them know what the survey results were and to make the explicit kind of, or have the discussion about how would we organize greater school-to-school partnerships. And so that's going to be an ongoing strategy.
It will increase parent engagement at the school that's being helped too. If they see more people coming in and doing things at the school, a beautification thing or things like that, anything that can be helped. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now we have policies for review. Mrs. Morris.
Yes, good evening. We have 6 policies before you tonight for review. If you have any questions, I'm available to answer them.
Okay.
Thank you.
We do not have any closed session decisions, so that brings us to board comments. I'll just say to piggyback on books and brackets, I want to say thank you to Stallings Elementary for hosting the kickoff and for Principal Gaddy and her team, and especially Porter Ridge High School, Dr. Facin and the drumline band, the cheerleaders, the basketball players. Just a special thank you for everyone coming together for our young readers that are going to be competing to earn their way to Wingate University for books and brackets. So just want to wish all of our elementary schools and all of our third grade readers lots of luck. And make sure you're getting your minutes logged and turned in on Friday. And we look forward to celebrating with you.
just an update. I have a mole at the Forest Hills game, and there's 5 minutes and 50 seconds left, and their Forest Hills is up 36-30.
Good
So
job.
go Jackets.
Good update. Okay,
I don't have announcement. I have announcement. not
okay,
comment.
so if we don't have any more board comments, we will go to announcements.
Facilities Committee will meet on March 18th at 9 a.m. at the PDC. The Finance Committee will meet on March 24th at 9 a.m. at the PDC. And Appeals Panel C block out March 12th and March 26th, and we'll let you know if there's appeals.
And SPIC Committee is meeting on Wednesday, March 25th at 7:30 here at the PDC.
Curriculum will meet last Thursday of the month, March 26th, 9 a.m. in this very room.
Mrs. Morris, do you have the policy date? I don't have it with me.
Yes, it's also March 25th at 9.
Okay, March 25th at 9 here at the PDC. Anything else? Okay, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank
Aye.
you.
Good night, sir. Feel better.